Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 17 preview, and we're getting through the bye period. We're getting through the major bye periods. Only a couple more weeks of heavily affected rounds. Obviously, this week a bit of a reprieve, which is nice because there's quite a few injuries and players missing. A couple of notable guys, I guess. But yeah, we're fast approaching the back end. So really trying to just get in players that are basically end game at this point. There's a couple of players that could be stepping stones still. We still have 17 trades, which I feel pretty good about. Team's looking pretty solid. There's only a couple of guys I need to get back in. But let's go through how the team is looking for this week. Now, couple of shock inclusions. Pete Mamazoulis. I don't actually think it's good necessarily, but Mamazoulis is back on the bench. I gotta be honest, I am hoping it's a late switch and he does start and plays 80 minutes. It's probably a little audacious, a little ambitious for him to play 80 minutes, but it'd be nice. I still, he plays pretty late in the round, so it's fine. If I'm not gonna loop, then I'll play Mamazoulis, and if he can crank out some decent base, then fine. He does have a 62 break even, so he's likely to lose some cash, which is annoying, but yeah, if he can get back to big minutes, he could actually be like a handy number next week, surprisingly, if he retains sort of his starting spot. Obviously, Havili is there for now, but that could definitely change. So Mamazoulis back. It is what it is. We'll start him for now, I guess. There's no reason not to. It's still a free loop. If we're gonna take our loop, then we will obviously bring in Sanders Smith. If we aren't going to take the loop, then we'll play Mamazoulis and just hope he can score decently. That's pretty much that. Terrell May, Payne Haas, obviously. Lindsay Smith, he'll probably punch out 60 points this week when I don't need him to play, but fucking Lindsay Smith. Back row, Dylan Lucas, Eli Katoa, Zach Hosking. I'm fine to play Hosking again this week. He's been pretty underwhelming, but Hudson Young being out, I'm really hoping Hosking goes to the left edge. Now, they're not going to use Hosking as much. Hudson Young, they just use so often. Even if he was on the left or right, they just give the ball to Hudson Young. So I don't think Hosking is going to get as much footy as Hudson Young does anyway. But if he is on the left-hand side, I do think they typically attack there more often. So hopefully he goes there. But I don't know. Simi Sasangi or him could end up on that side. We'll see. But he should still play 80 minutes with Hudson Young out. Kalamatangi obviously plays. Ola Kawatu, he's still a trade out, but it's not. It's not necessary yet. Hubner now becomes probably not necessarily a must trade out, but I think we do have to get rid of him. He is on the bench now. I don't want him to drop too much cash, so if we can swing him out, honestly, I don't hate the idea of just holding Olaquatu for another week. And I guess at the end of the day, if the weeks keep going by and we haven't traded out Olaquatu, he could be an okay hold. I still probably want to trade him out because the shoulder issue, it's one of those ones that could easily re-injure, or if he does need surgery, he's going to be gone for the season. So Olaquatu still is a trade out, but yeah, I think Hubner, if we can afford, then he is the priority trade out, but we'll see. Nico Hines, obviously we're playing Lycan King Tongia. We don't want to play Tongia. Luke Metcalf, he is named, he's playing, which is good. It was a cork. Hopefully, he played the rest of the game. He was hindered, but I do sort of need him this week, so hopefully he is not too... Hopefully it wasn't too bad a cork and he is okay to do something. Campbell being out is obviously not great. It's what time if Campbell to be out? He misses. I mean, he's concussed in a game against the Eels, and then he misses a game against the Cows Sunday afternoon at Seabus. Like, a couple of great matchups, but that's Supercoach. That is Supercoach. Then we have Herbie, Azarko, Lomax. Garrick is on the wing, as predicted. Garrick on the wing, Tommy at centre, and Lehigh going back to fullback. So a couple of interesting ones there. Garrick will obviously come in for Fletcher Sharp, who is gone. Sharp is definitely a trade out. He suffered very nasty injuries, internal injuries, so he's gone. Easy trade. There's so many guys to bring in. We don't have Billy Smith, we don't have Horotti, Pappenhausen, Drinkwater, and No Tedesco. So at the moment, do we even have 18 players at the moment? We're actually a little thin this week. We might have to play Lindsay Smith. So Lindsay, Kolomatangi. We will, because we are going to be doing 2 trades this week. So, but we are pushing it. We are pushing it this week. But that's fine. I mean, we do have decent depth. It's just one of those weeks. And then also, yeah, we won't have any real duds. The only dud could be King Tongia, unfortunately. So, couple of players of note. Now, I think in my last video, I did talk about, obviously, Karapani is a pretty popular pickup. And I wasn't overly keen on it. And I even talked about it. I said I'd probably rather just wait for Jed Stewart in a couple of weeks. He's bottom dollar. But I got to be honest, the more I think about it, I actually think Karapani is the play this week. I'm definitely leaning into Karapani. Because, I mean, again, I saved a trade last week, so I think I can afford to do that. If you're running really low on... But even... So, the reason I'm more keen on Karapani now is just the Selwyn Cobbo situation, right? Like, Karapani's been good. He's a good Supercoach player, for one. He's obviously on that... Like, that's the thing. He's on the left-hand wing, where Jesse Arthurs was killing it. Obviously, when the Broncos are scoring points, that left wing just carves up, really. But Jesse Arthur's not really Supercoach relevant, barring if he's scoring tries, which he was. So he did a good job. Karapani, though, is just genuinely a more Supercoach relevant guy. He takes a lot of carries. He's a tackle buster. He's the type of Supercoach player that you want. And he's on that left wing, so he's scoring the tries. So I really like it. He's a good number this week. He's a good number next week. Do they play... I think the Bronx play 19, yeah. So they play Warriors this week, Suncorp, pretty good. I mean, Warriors have been very good, but, I mean, they could score some points. The Doggies in 18, it is a tough game. The Dogs aren't going to be... I mean, the Dogs are going to be missing a few key players, but nothing crazy. Is Burton the 18th man? Actually, we don't know yet. Hopefully he is. That'd be funny. I would like it. And then the Titans in 19. So yeah, you get 3 really good weeks there for Karapani, and then he could be he could make a ton of cash quickly. You could trade him up to somebody better, or you could just be a hold for depth the rest of the season. Because if we look at his stats, he has bagged a double both weeks. That is one thing to note. He has bagged a double both weeks for sure. No tackles, but I mean, 5 tackle busts, 3 tackle busts, plenty of line breaks, and that's what he'll get. And then, yeah, plenty of runs. Not as many runs as like the elite wing options, but I guess another thing to note in these games, they were high scoring games. Like the Titans Broncos was very high scoring. The Sharks Broncos, the Sharks were flogging them in the first half, and then the Broncos stormed home. So both of these very high scoring games, so the base stats would probably typically be a bit better than that. Like, they're still fine, but in games that aren't like 30 all or 40-6 or whatever it was, like, he's probably going to have more runs. Like, it was just try scoring after try scoring, which is good. So I'm honestly I think I'm definitely leaning to Karapani now. I think I'm definitely leaning to Karapani. The other big trade-in targets for me this week, obviously looking to the future, Jacob Kiraz, obviously. I mean, just to keep it till the end. The Dogs, I don't think the Dogs have another bye for the rest of the season. And he's an absolute gun. Latu Fainu, I was very keen on. I gotta be honest, I've gone, not that I've gone cold on Latu Fainu. I still think he's a very good pickup if you can, if you got a trade spare and you've got a guy, I don't know, who would you trade to him though? I guess that's the conundrum for me. I gotta be honest, I was starting to think, like, do you trade Campbell to Fainu, free up a couple $100K? Campbell's obviously missing this week. He misses 18 as well, but then he'll play 19 and obviously the rest of the season. So there was a temptation to trade Campbell to Fainu, but I don't think that's worth it. I was like, trade Tongia to Fainu, but again, I don't think it's worth doing this week. If Metcalf was out, then sure, I might have traded Campbell or Metcalf for that matter to a Latu Fainu, just for number purposes. But with Metcalf playing, I think Fainu could be a guy I just let go through. Maybe Tongia becomes Latu Fainu, maybe. Or we just hold and try to get King Tongia up to, a Cleary at some point after Origin. But again, obviously they'll take some cash. So interesting little conundrum going on there. But yeah, Tongia, he's only got like a 5 break even. Latu does have a negative 11, but there's every they could make similar amounts of money. I don't think it's worth the trade this week, even though I love Latu. He is also very heavily injury prone, and the fact is, like, I guess with Buller out for a month, Fainu probably keeps the spot in the halves with Luai, but there was obviously it seemed like they weren't going to be starting Latu Fainu for whatever reason. Benji was still going to have him on the bench if Buller wasn't injured. So I guess that's a potential longer term issue if he goes back to the bench. But yeah, I do like the Latu pickup. I just think there's better options for me this week, especially with going Karapani. Like I said, Kiraz, and then the other guy is Viliami Kickout. I gotta be honest, I'm on the Kickout train. I've never really been huge on Viliami, but he's starting to look. He's been looking really good lately. Like, the base and power have been better. They've always used him a lot in attack, but I just feel like he's getting even more footy in attack. It's an interesting game, obviously taking on his old club, so there'll be a bit of, a bit of aggression in this one, I'm sure, for both clubs. So I don't know if this bodes well for his scoring or not, but I do like the kick-out play. He's got a low break even, so it does make sense to get on him this week. The scores they've been good. 84-90 to start the season, then missed the bulk with injury. 49 on his game back, 68, and then a 36 against the Titans, which was, I don't remember the game, but for whatever reason, he had a shocker against the Titans of all clubs. But then 99, 70, 45, 78, 109, and that 78, did he get sin binned in that one? But yeah, he plays 17, 18, 19. It's nice. It is nice. I'm pretty keen on him just because he's got the ceiling. I mean, I guess he's like any back rower. If he doesn't score a try, if he doesn't get a try assist, he's going like 40 to 50. If he gets a try assist, he's going, 80 plus, typically 70, 80 plus. I do really like Kickout. With a low break even, it does make sense to get him this week. That's the big conundrum now, though, because I cannot get all three. Jacob Kiraz, also taking on Penrith, obviously. I do obviously think Kiraz is he's better than Kickout. Let's be real. He's a more of a keeper than Kickout. But 76 break even. He's, don't get me wrong, he's every chance to hit it. He's every chance to hit the break even. He's just, he's a monster. But I feel like it's not a bad week to just sit and wait on Kiraz. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be bringing him in. I get it. He's owned by a lot of people. But again, he is injury prone. I was looking at Herbie. 11% for Kiraz. Probably higher in the top percentages of team, I'd be guessing. But even like the Blues, like it feels like he's probably next in line if something happened to a To'o, even a Lomax for hopefully not, but he is next in line just in case something happens this week. I feel like it's not a bad week to just sit on the heels a little bit. And yeah, I think at the moment for me it's like Kiraz, kick out Karapani. Karapani, you've got to do this week if you're going him, and I do like the Karapani play. As you can see, it's all Karapani and Kiraz. it's all Karapani and Kiraz. But for me, I'm probably like Karapani and Kickout are my two, and then Kiraz next week. But let's have a look at what we're looking like. So Sharp can go. I guess that's the thing though. Who am I trading out? That's the other question. So if we're going Sharp to Karapani, obviously this frees up 400k. So that's very nice. Go down. What was he? 290. Yeah, 290 for Karapani. We will have 500k in the bank. All right, so that's good. Now, that also allows me to then trade out Hubner to Kickout instead of going Ola Kawatu this week. And I do think getting rid of Hubner is probably the play. I mean, you could hold him. Obviously, Hubner plays next week, and I don't know. Like, I don't know, what are the minutes going to look like off the bench? Like, I'm unsure. Maybe you just get rid of Ola Kawatu. Like, Hubner will lose a bit of cash, but it's not the end of the world. He could end up starting next week. Like, there's every chance Kalamatangi gets a recall, like not a recall, but gets called into Origin for Game 3. If that happens, there'll definitely be more minutes potentially for Hubner. So yeah, maybe just ride the poor score this week. It is what it is. I don't know, like 500k. The question though. Oops. I thought I pressed reserve. The question mark for this is, who are we trading out for Kiraz? Now, obviously not trading out Herbie, Zarko, Lomax, or Garrick. Billy Smith can go, but I mean, Billy Smith now has a low break even, and he plays the next 2 weeks. Tigers in 18-19 against the Dragons. I don't really want to trade out Billy Smith. He might come out and punch out 30s again, but like, I feel like surely there's a couple of big scores. There has to be, right? So I mean, I guess Hiroti is the trade out. 370k. We've got the money to go to Kiraz. How much would be left in the bank after we do this? So he's 750. Okay, so we'll have 120k to work with. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to go if this was the way we're thinking. I just wanted to see this because if I went Hubner up to Kiraz Kickout, God, they're the same damn name. Hubner up to Kickout this week, that would cost 200k. So if we did that, next week, we definitely wouldn't be able to afford to get in Kiraz straight for Hiroti, which would be potentially annoying, right? That would be a little bit annoying because I think Kiraz, if nothing happens and he's playing, like he's a must-have, like basically a must-have in those buys and then the rest of the season. So I definitely would want to bring him in. So I think because of that, I think unfortunately with Hubner fucking on the bench, pain in the ass, but I think we just have to ride it out. I think we do just trade Ola Kawatu to Kikau. Still the question, do we go Kiraz or Kikau? I mean, I do like Kikau. I gotta be honest, I do like Kikau, and I like him just for the fact that dogs use him so often. I'm getting sick of some of my back rowers, primarily Hosking. Really, he's the only real guy, and Lindsay Smith, but he's a front rower. But it's just nice to have players like a Kikau. Like, yeah, the score, he does have the odd dud score, but he just gets the ball a lot. Like, he's very similar to Ola Kawatu. Ola Kawatu a bit higher echelon in terms of Supercoach ability. He just, for whatever reason, just has a bit more about him on average. But Kikau's very similar because his base isn't necessarily that good. He's not making like 30, 40 tackles like a Hosking. But he gets the ball a lot. He's used in attack a lot. So there's just attack to be had, attacking points. So you're going to see a lot of those tries and try assists and line breaks and whatnot. So yeah, he's nice to have. And I think, again, I do think Kiraz is a hold or a wait. Kiraz is on the good side. He is going to be opposing Jenkins and McLean. But then at the same time, actually, I think probably the other side, like Tungo, it's the other side really. Like Tungo and Cleary and To'o. Like, you've got Cleary and To'o on that side, but that side always seems to struggle defensively. I don't know what it is. Is it all Tungo? I mean, people like to blame Tungo. I think it's a combination of all of them. Their defense on that edge can be very, very poor. So, and the Dogs also attack to the left a lot more. So Kiraz sometimes, he still scores incredibly, but sometimes he catches a bit of a cold in the attacking zone unless Stephen Crichton does some magic and gets him away, which definitely could happen. It definitely could happen, but I think kick out this week, and then we can go Hiroti up to Kiraz. So let's just do that for now, and then have a look at what we're... All of a sudden, our 18 looked a little bit flimsy. It'll look a lot stronger after this. Where is old Kicks? What is he? Yeah, 620k. I mean, he's averaging 72.8. It's just the way the money works sometimes. It's just when you score your points, like Olaquatu's averaging what was he, 69.6, but he's 660k. Kikau averaging 3 points more, and he's quite a bit less. It's just the way the break evens work. So he's actually averaging pretty well across the board. I mean, the scores are really good. So yeah, I like Kikau, and also the coverage is also great. So that actually nets us a little bit more money as well, which is nice. It's handy for the future because, there's a couple of big trades to obviously still look to bring in. Okay, so now our reserves. Obviously, Kikau will be a reserve. Karapani, Kikau, Kolomatangi, and I guess we'll still go Lindsay Smith. I don't love it, but it's either Lindsay Smith or King Tongia or Hubner. And I'd rather Lindsay Smith. So That's fine. And then our AE could be a bit of a shocker. It's either Hubner or King Tongia. Both could get like 30 or 40, even less maybe. But we'll see. I think that's looking pretty strong. And then we got plenty of money to work with coming up. We'll easily be able to go Horoti up to Kiraz next week. Even if Kiraz bangs out 100, he's not going to fucking balloon too much in price. We'll still be able to afford it. Yeah, because what was Kiraz? It's going to cost... It costs basically 400, a tick under 400. So, yeah, we'll still, after that trade, you know, I think worst case scenario, maybe like, you know, 440k to go up to him. Actually, probably not quite that much because, yeah, he's like 750. But let's just say that much. We'll still have 100k to work with, which again will be nice going forward. But yeah, I think that's all she wrote for this week. Obviously, I still like Ladufanu. There's a couple other guys as well, but I think I'm pretty locked into that. I think I am pretty much locked into that. I mean, granted, I could just forego Karapani and just go Kiraz, but I don't know. I think like Karapani also could be a really good scorer this week, and he's gonna make a ton of cash. Like I don't know. I like the Karapani play. I've still got 15 trades after that. I think it's worth it. We are getting to the point where probably want to ease up on the money makers, but we do still need the money, so I'm not stressing about it. But yeah, that's basically that. At some point, I wouldn't mind. The only other downgrade potentially in the center wing, I mean, we don't have to enough. We could still go like a Stewart in a couple of weeks. He doesn't play 18, which is nice, so we get an extra week of someone else to make money. So if one of these guys we do want to nuff out, or not even nuff out, but we could bring in Stewart if he's scoring okay and he's a downgrade option. So we could still do that, free up cash, or just get a nuff in. I don't mind either or. I still think, you don't need 7 playable center wings. Obviously, we're going to be bringing in Kiraz. Who else do we want? I mean, there's a lot of other good options like Val Holmes after the fact, even like a Brian To'o, little pod play after Origin. There's going to be a lot of center wing. You can go pretty pod if you want with your options. I mean, Azarko is a guy who's at a great price, but he doesn't have to be a long-term option. He could be, but he doesn't have to be, because he actually... Yeah, Zarko doesn't actually play... Zarko actually doesn't play 18, so... You know what? In 18, depending how the chips lie, you could trade a Zarko to Kiraz instead of Horati. You could, because he doesn't play 18, then he comes back against the Sharkies in 19, Cowboys, and then another bye in 21. So, is Azarko a keeper? Probably not. He's probably not compared to some of the other guys. I mean, he started terribly. He had a couple of big scores thrown in there, but the Dolphins are putting on a lot of points. That's obviously the big uptick for Azarko, the goal kicking, but it's more often than not going left, not right. So he's going to have the old game like this where he scores a triple. But yeah, you could actually trade a Zarko instead. But again, we'll wait and see. Doing it like that, it would just lead like being able to go like Tongi up to Cleary a lot easier, like a Mamazulis or a Smith up to Grant easier. Stuff like that. So there's options, and even fucking getting rid of Lindsay Smith or like Tino would be nice. Hopefully Tino loses a bunch more cash, and then we can... Hopefully Smith also doesn't lose a lot of cash, and we can go Smith to like Tino without too much fuss. That would be the ideal play. But yeah, other than that, I think we're looking okay. Captains, vice captains. So it's a bit of a... I got to say, without Tedesco, it's a bit of a tricky week because he's just so rock solid. It's just such a nice fallback. You could go back to the stock standard Kalamatangi. I probably don't like Payne Haas just with the injury concern. I know he banged out a ton, but I don't love it with the injury. Terrell May plays early, annoyingly, and he also plays against Manly. So Manly... Well, let's go through. Penrith Bulldogs, I don't really like anyone as a vice captain. I mean, if you're bringing in a Kiraz, he could be an okay vice captain shout. Like, he can go big against anybody, really. I don't mind Kiraz, but no one else really tickles me there. Manly Tigers, obviously Manly are very exciting. The one guy I didn't actually talk about at all was Lehigh Hopewade, who... I also really like Lehigh, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, I would rather have Kiraz than Lehigh Hopewade. Yeah, it's basically that simple. He is playing fullback. He's got a couple of really good matchups, so that's obviously great for Lehigh. But the talk is that it's not going to be, apparently not a long-term solution to have Tommy at centre. But even if Tommy's going well, Lehigh on the wing, he's still really good on the wing. So, like, if you're going Lehigh, I think that's also a great trade. But I'm going to forego Hopewade. It pains me. I do like him a lot as well. But, yeah, I do prefer Kiraz, basically. And I mean, again, you could go both. Depending how it falls next week, we do have 3 trades, obviously, next week for the major buy. So you could get both in. Like, Hopowate's got a big break even, obviously, coming off a 0 last start. So he's probably, unless he goes massive, probably lose some cash. So we'll see. That's a next week conundrum. But yeah, Ruben Garrick. I really like the Ruben Garrick vice captaincy, playing on the wing, goal kicking, obviously, 4 Points Park. It doesn't get much better. I feel like Garrick is due for a big score. He's been close a couple of times. He's threatened, but yeah, I think Garrick vice captain. Newcastle Raiders. Do we have no Newcastle? Oh, we got Dylan Lucas. No one there, really. Broncos Warriors. Nah. Dragons Parramatta. Oh, I do like Lomax. I mean, the thing, like I was gonna say, I don't know if I want to risk it, but like Lomax isn't necessarily, he's not a risky captain because he's gonna have the base, and I feel like I talked about this before. That's why I brought him in a few weeks ago, Lomax. I felt like he was a must-have for that Titans game last week, and then the Dragons, his old club, this week. I feel like he could go bonkers. Obviously, that was before Moses got injured, which does limit it a little bit, which is annoying, but I don't mind the Lomax play. It's just a matter, like, they just don't find him the footy, like, with a pass. Obviously, they kick it to him a lot, but they just really struggle to get him. He's in space, but they just don't fucking give him the ball. Yeah, so I don't mind Lomax. Obviously, Kalamatangi, Dolphins, Rabbits. I mean, even Herbie, he's probably a pretty safe captain. Herbie and Kalamatangi both pretty safe. Like, can't go too wrong with either of those. Pappenhausen versus Sharkies. Obviously, Amy Park, 2 p.m. is nice, but I don't know. I mean, the Sharks, I know the Sharks haven't been great, but I I just always look at their team and I'm like, I just expect them to not score, like, leak that many points. I don't love the Pappenhausen captain. I feel like he's a bigger risk than like a Lomax, right? He's got the upside, but don't love it. And then, oh god, Cowboys Titans. Obviously, Drinky is the man. But he is the risk, right? I mean, he hadn't really shown that much risk. He's been really rock solid, but then he's had a couple. He's had a 14. He had a 14 against Manly and then a fucking 33 against the Dolphins. But other than that, like, the lowest score, 52, but then the rest of them are like 70 plus with a couple of big tons. So I think I'm locked into Garrick, and then it's just a matter of, depending how the rest of the round goes, playing it safe with a Kalamatangi captaincy or even a Lomax captaincy. I don't mind the shout of that. Or we go for the upside of Drinky against the Titans, 4 o'clock Sunday. I do like that as well. So yeah, we'll decide what we're doing there. But other than that, I think that's pretty much that. There's not too much else to really talk about. Again, let's have a look at numbers for next week now. I think we'll be looking pretty good. With Mamazula's back now, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll count Kalamatangi, but I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a call up in game 3. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 at the moment, with granted a couple of duds. Hubner and King Tongia duds. And, I mean, honestly, Mamazula's dud as well, depending how it goes. So 15 with a few. Obviously, next week we're going to bring in Kiraz, so that's 16. It's pretty good. And then we'll look if there's any other guys that we sort of want or need for that buy and pushing forward. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. What about what's round 19? So no Rabbits, no Raiders, and no Manly. So honestly, it was looking terrible a few weeks ago because Manly were a big team, but now we've only got Garrick, so that's fine. Raiders, we're going to be trading out Hosking probably in this round. You could wait depending how things fall. And then the Rabbits, the only main guy is Kalamatangi. Like Hubner and Mamazula's missing, doesn't matter. So honestly, we're very sweet for round 19 as well. So things are looking good. Going forward, we just need to nail the captaincies. We just need to get a little bit of luck. Let's be real, and try to push for a good finish. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to like and comment. Not much else to see. I think we're looking pretty good. I think I am pretty much locked into going Karapani and kick out this week, and then deciding what we're doing next week. We are going to be bringing in Kiraz. You could go... Actually, yeah, like I did say, you could go both, and you could trade a Zarko and Hiroti for Kiraz and Hopewade easily. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Because I just want to double check. What is Hopewade? He's still somewhat. He's not even that. He is expensive, but not crazy because of the head knock. Yeah, he's 660k. He had a really low break even, but obviously got a 0 or 1 or whatever he got. So he's coming in with a 120 break even, taking on the Tigers. Then they play South, 4 Pines Park, round 18, which is also good. They do miss 19 again, but then, yeah, the rest of the run, if he's playing fullback, he's very good. Even on the wing, he's still very good. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we're feeling like there. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.